welcome to another episode of Live Talks with me, Fawole. We have the voice. No, we don't have the voice by the camera. Whoa! We have the wizard. The voice is here in spirit. He's here in spirit. And we have my brother, my confidant. He needs no introduction. He's a legend in the house scene. He's like, I got nothing but love for this guy, man. He's an amazing person. Like, I can't explain how excited I am to have an interview with him or just to see him. He's my brother. He's a Capricorn as well. Same as me. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
every time we got
GGB, come on. You better get to know. You don't know. Come on. In the house.
Every time.
In the house. It's been a long time coming, man.
No, it's been ages coming, but we didn't talk about it for a long time, innit? But
yeah,
we're here. All in good timing, eh? Yeah. Now it goes already.
Well, we're family, so it's just like, it's like, for me, it's a given, man. It's like,
it was always going to happen.
I saw you on someone else's podcast, and I see you talking. I was saying, when can I get you? You're such a busy man as well.
You know, it is because I don't live in London anymore, so my time that day is more weekends, you know what I mean? That's the best time to catch me. So Monday when I'm going back up, or Fridays when I'm coming down, or in between, it works. But
we'll have to get
we're here,
we'll have to do like the video.
No, it's not natural, man. I have to come and sit with you and then I say, normal.
G.
Yes.
GGB.
Yes.
Where can we start? Where can I start with you? You're just like, okay, let's start how we usually start. So everyone, let the people them get to know you, and even I get to know you a bit better.
Yeah.
Like, what was your childhood like? Like, what was you like as a child, like when you was young?
I am not going to sit here and act like my childhood wasn't anything other than perfect for my world. Do you know what I mean? I've had my mum, I've had my dad, fully active, fully involved with me all my life. Doesn't mean I've always been a good boy. I was rebellious as young, as most of us are, because when you're going out there, you're finding out other things away from your family. You know what I mean? Like certain other things away from your family do kind of corrupt you and bring you into things that you wouldn't normally get involved in. But as long as you've got a smart mind and you're not really there to be what's the word, manipulated further than you would normally be, then all good. You just, it's life experiences. You come back from it, you know what I mean?
What was it like? What area did you grow up in?
I grew up in Murray Grove.
You grew up in Grove?
Yeah, Murray Grove. That's where I was born, man. I was born in North Middlesex Hospital.
Okay.
My mum's originally from Turnpike Lane, and once she had me, we moved straight down to Murray Grove. So my first memories are from Hoxton, Murray Grove side.
Okay, what was it like down there?
Say again.
What was it like down there?
It was proper, man. I enjoyed it. Well, them times there, you had the normal thing. Right? Listen, it was...
Murray Grove was that near Packerton, no?
Right near Packerton, yeah.
We
all know the stories of
so I'm saying, you know what it is? And our age, we dealt with stuff that some of the youngsters are not dealing with now. Everyone's kind of integrated.
Experiences, it's like... We was put on the front line from the beginning. We had to deal with life issues from the beginning. Luckily for us, we dealt with the end of so-called racism. Things have changed now, obviously, but when we was young, we couldn't go Packerton without taking a chase or taking a fight, or you know what I mean. That's just the way it was. It wasn't just Packerton. Surrounding Murray, you had Packerton, you had White Cross, over by Barbican. All of these places were iffy for us to go to. I went primary school in Hoxton. So I was kind of in the middle of where all of them would locate anyway at some point, you know what I mean? But we're still here now, so it couldn't have been that bad, you know what I mean?
We as children, we're always adaptable. We just like, I always wonder what it's like for children in like growing up in Gaza and places like that. But children are very resilient.
That is real stuff.
You know what I'm saying? They're very resilient. They get on, even though I know I can't begin to imagine what they go through. But even though I see some stuff on TV, like I don't want to go too political, what's going on right now. But I've seen stuff prior to all this conflict stuff where they haven't got much, but they're still kids. They're still kids, and they still make do with it. They're so resilient. They just enjoy, you know.
It's products of your environment, wherever you may be. Do you know what I mean? And if you're one of the strongest in a place like Gaza, you're gonna survive. And if you can survive there,
survive anywhere.
They just don't know it, so they're there, and they have to be there unless they leave there and come and see what big the world is. But those people are resilient. The hearts are big, and God willing, everything just changes for them over there. You've got to go through the rough to get the smooth sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm hoping at the end of all of this, real justice is served and what needs to be happens. You know what I mean? Like, but it's life, man. I'm 46 now, so I've grown up in life.
46?
Yeah, 46
Easy.
now, getting old, man. Yeah, man.
Wait, you 47 this year?
47 in January.
January.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just on the cuff, innit?
Yeah, just literally on the cuff.
I'm
Yeah,
49.
so I'm saying, we're getting there, bro. Yeah, but still looking younger than most of you.
You're gonna find out. Come on. So like, so when you come up in school and that, it was I remember cake and custard, school
All of that.
dinners, all that. What was your influences?
Were you talking about primary school or
Like,
secondary school?
primary school, like what was
Primary
your
school, I
influence?
was alright.
What was you
primary
into, like fun wise?
Primary school, I was into drama. I used to love drama, music, anything like that. I was bang on. Do you know what I mean? For the laughs, always laughing, always giggling. But my attention span was very short. I think, not to say I was further ahead than anybody else academically, but my mind streetwise was totally different. When I used to sit in school, put it like this, to cut a long story short, primary school even, you wouldn't believe it or not, but my last year of primary school, I used to bunk off and go and do what I wanted to do for the day. Not because there was problems at home or I was a bad child, just because my attention span didn't work in school with certain of the teachers. Now, I went to St. Monica's school in Hoxton. We had a teacher called Mr. Goldfinch. Anyone that went to St. Monica's knows about Mr. Goldfinch, yeah? He was like the final boss of teachers, you know, the one there. So he was dealing with us for our last year of school. And he was real strict, do you know what I mean? Like, but I was rebellious in the sense where I had math and I knew my mum and my dad was always gonna back me. So I was kind of causing problems in school with him because he would want to discipline me. I'm not having it, and then I'll call my mum and my dad, and they're coming down and backing kind of what I'm on. Which, when I look at it now, it might not have been good because it made me feel like I can do what I want within reason.
Yeah.
Hence why I started thinking, F that, I'm not going to school. I'll go and do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Got in trouble for it as you do. Like, don't think I got away with it. I didn't. But academically, I was still so good. I still got into the first choice secondary school that I wanted to go, even though I was bunking through school.
Despite that.
So I went to St. Aloysius. That's where I went in secondary school. That's why I met everybody over Archway sides now. So yeah, I went there, done the whole school academically to the end. Yeah. Got my GCSEs. Yeah. Went college and all that. Not to skip St. Aloysius because I'm going to go into.
I want to go back anyway. I want to ask you about how important you think it was to have that backing from your parents, and then if you look at the modern school system and what we know now about the school system, it's based on conformity.
Right.
And those that conform, then you conform there, you conform here, you conform there. So you
fall into place.
You fall into place almost like they say in the Matrix. You become a battery. You become
100%.
a working thing in the system,
100%.
which we don't want to be anyway. So with your intelligence, you had the clarity and intelligence at that young age to see what was going on.
Exactly why I just said F this.
But at such a young age, you know,
I don't understand how it got to that stage because, like I said, school was good, school was fun. But dealing with that one teacher, it wasn't that I was running away from him. It's just that I realised early I'm causing problems here, and I'm not even a problem child. So the best thing for me to do, stay out of this geezer's way because he's always going to win. He's there. Do you get what I'm saying? Every time I step over his threshold, I'm not really going to win him. You know what I mean? So you're right.
Level of intelligence, man.
I did. I noticed it early that. I mean, where we stand now, half the things that we did in school and we qualified for, we've never really used them in life. Life is a learning curve in itself. You can only teach yourself, really. You can be guided with things, but you have to live a moment to understand a moment. And like you're saying, where we sit here now, at the age that we are, I don't regret one thing about the way I dealt with my schooling and and the choices I made. Doesn't mean I'm sitting there saying everybody should go and do things the same way with me because my mind's different to everybody else's and everybody else is different to mine. I handled it the way I chose to handle it, and my parenting structure, they was upset, but they still knew I wasn't stupid, and they understood there's the reason why this was doing what he's doing, and they kind of nurtured me in a sense that, like I said, Aloysius wasn't an easy school to get into where I lived in Murray Grove because it was out of our catchment. So there was only a certain amount of boys from my school that could actually go there, but the primary school knew I wasn't stupid, and they knew this wasn't some problem that I was causing. They needed to keep me active in school, which they did. Hats off to them. Went to St. Aloysius, and in there, that's when I really met people and realised there's so many different lives and
Yeah,
people in this world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and just the journey to get there in the mornings as a 12.
Murray Grove to
11,
there, yeah,
like, you take
yeah.
like an hour and 20 minutes, hour
Yeah,
and a half,
yeah,
through
yeah.
the whole of London basically
Yeah,
to get up
yeah,
there. Do you
yeah.
know what I mean? So on my journeys, I'm even meeting different people early, which is kind of shaped.
You're fighting through certain areas as well. Like you have to go through back in certain places to get there and come back. And
100%.
like, there were safe places, dangerous places.
I remember it like yesterday, like you got 271 that used to run from Moorgate all the way up to Highway 43 that used to go around the back. Angel to get up to Arch. And it was a choice you had to make because if you wanted to go 43, you had to go through Packham, Angel. Go up there.
But I'm not doing muck about back in the day. I went Islington Green, innit?
I got chased by Tanner loads of times. Tanner, you're a joker.
What? Little Chinese you?
Chinese Tanner.
Little fucker, little fucker. Don't muck about, bro. Listen, yeah. Listen, yeah. You don't understand. We're Capricorn. You do not understand, yeah. Because what it was, I lived over here.
Yeah,
but
so
I
you
went
see.
Islington Green.
See.
I used to
That's
get
what my mum went. Islington Green.
Yeah, I went Islington
So
Green.
you was right on the doorstep.
So I was coming in, but you was coming out. So
crazy.
you're fighting your way out, I'm fighting my way in, cuz. And then, man, you see the people that ain't nothing now, bro.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy, isn't it? I mentioned his name, you know. That's how
I don't understand how, like, I don't want to digress too much into their thing, how they could have
Do you know what it
be
was?
racist against us, but they got Chinese, this one, that
this
one.
is why
It's a
Tan stood
madness.
out because it was odd to all of us. We used to sit there and think, how's this working? But we used to think he must be the final boss of racism because no, how you in there and I didn't know
Chinese,
anybody else.
yeah.
I just knew you see Tan about he's the one who's gonna, you know what I mean? Like,
Try
so,
it.
but it's funny, I never ever saw him active. I just used to know there's some Chinese guy called Tan. So I used to see them and I think they used to run and stop or something because we don't stop when
They
you're
were
back there
wankers.
and you keep going.
Yeah, they were wankers. No, they were
But
wankers.
I used to look around, they're never there.
They were wankers. It was only when there was a number of them.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They wouldn't try it.
But again, life lessons, you go through those things early so they don't shock you now. There's people that are grown adults now who, like we see, they'll cross the road because they're seeing certain people not knowing.
Yeah.
Certain people are cool and certain other people might be the way you think they are. But unless you've been through that experience, you can't judge it. You can't judge it early. So you always look scared. Or you always look like you're looking for that person who's about to do something, you know what I mean? But life experiences has showed me, go anywhere you want to go on the planet, as long as you carry yourself correctly, even if a racist man walks up to you. A racist man will walk up to me, and by the time he's finished speaking to me, he'll probably like me. If he's got half sense in his head. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, the ones that are wild, that's exactly it. So,
I'm fair.
that's the first and foremost
They're
thing.
scared.
So they're on the offence straight away. They haven't got time to listen and hear you even speak, and they've got a perception of how you're gonna come out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once I know, bag of racist people, but they could never be racist to me.
Yeah, and that's the you see, even like we said, there's fear and ignorance. But I think like we talk about like the kids in Gaza, like to go back, we grew up in certain things, so we was acclimatized to it. So therefore, we could like address certain things,
adapt to it, man.
Face it. They don't understand certain things. Like there's certain things I wouldn't understand. Like they understand, like dodging bullets and
100%.
stuff. But that
And that's the
racism,
realest it can be.
confronting your fears.
This is why people need to understand how lucky we actually are here. Don't get me wrong, nothing beats the motherland, nothing beats going home when it's all said and done, if you can. But for learning and for a way of life and to shape your own life, if you don't, like you said at the beginning, conform to what society says you should do and fall into line and do things that they say, you can actually have a like half decent life and half retired life early. Life right now is about working your socks off and having probably 8 years to yourself when you're 60, if you're lucky. Do you know what I mean? Like, but most of it is paying for that roof over your head. That really it is a natural entitlement to us anyway. For the government to turn around and say this goes on for so long, and we'll give you a pension at the end of it.
It's not right.
It's not right, but people have to make it right. The more we sit down there and say it's not right, but we still conform, and when I say we, I don't mean us in the room, I mean just the majority, it's never going to change. And then we become the rebellion ones that actually know what's going on, but it's easy to keep us quiet. You can bubble through, you can do things out here differently that you'd never think you could do in a month of Sunday. But if you
In a
don't,
month for
no, on the
Sundays.
road, if you don't believe it and actually know it,
Yeah.
you will fall into what goes on every day. And what goes on every day is people wake up 6 o'clock, go to work, come back home 6, 7 o'clock, have something to eat, feel knackered from the day. By 9, 10 o'clock, they're sleeping, repeat it the next day. All the money you make.
What do you lot think about this while we're in school? The whole schooling system. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think homeschooling would be more
Yes,
beneficial?
you can see that now.
Yeah.
The pandemic showed you what it really is. If you realize from the pandemic, no one cared. You could tell me I school my son at home or my daughter at home, and I wouldn't look at you strange.
Yeah.
10 years ago, it'd be hard to tell somebody you don't send your child to school.
Right.
So this last 5 years has shown us just how much better it is for kids to work at home in a comfortable environment that they are feeling. Because yes, school is, how can I explain it? School is a big anxiety.
It's like a training camp.
It is, but if you're not built for it, all those hundreds of kids around you can be overwhelming. All right, put it like this. I'm a DJ, so I'm out in the raves week in, week out around thousands of people. I can deal with it, but I'm not comfortable with it. So I do have anxiety when I'm in parties. You'll never see me bang in the middle of a crowd, kind of letting loose. I'm always by a wall, or I'm just by somewhere where I just feel a bit more.
you need to know
You know
what's
what I mean?
going on.
Like, do you understand?
You need to
And
know what's going on.
it's not because I got problems or what. It's just you don't know who's got what problem in there, and you can be part of that problem in an instance without even realizing you're walking into
Very
this
easily,
place
very
to get
easily.
into it. And also, people are ignorant. So like you're saying, all it takes is for one person to walk past you, handle you in the wrong way, or do something in the wrong way, and they don't know you like that, and you then become part of their world and become into a problem that you didn't leave your house to get into. So when I'm in parties, I know I have anxiety. I know I don't show it. I'm not saying it to say I show it. I know internally, I'm not always comfortable. And
But that's something that's intelligence.
no, that is
Like
intelligence.
awareness of
So,
the situation.
what I'm trying to do is take a stigma away from having anxiety. People say I have anxiety, and people look at it and think, "Oh my God, that's a problem."
Yeah.
Anxiety is not a problem. We are human first and foremost, and everything in front of you that you see shows you what makes us up. So if you see an insect on the floor that has an antenna, they feel the air, they feel what's going on around them. We have that internally.
Yeah.
Every time you feel some kind of way, that's your antenna telling you danger or that's good or just because you can't see it on your head doesn't mean we don't have it. We have a more complex form of it because we can then act on and decipher and communicate just like they can what that danger might be or what that feeling might. Do you understand what I'm saying? But a lot of people get those feelings and suppress them and feel like it's wrong to have them.
It's people are saying like now you shouldn't feel like that. It's not good to feel like that.
have to
But if you don't, something, I'm not scared. But scared is intelligence. If you're not scared, you're
It
dumb as fuck.
definitely is.
You
Listen.
need to have an inherent fear of certain
to
things.
do anything out here these days, you do have to have a certain fear inside you. So even if you're going to get into a fight,
Or
most
comprehension of
fights
danger.
start of you building a fear, and that adrenaline, which is your fear, pushes you to fight or flight. You want to live, or you want to be the one that comes out of this situation at least okay. So you need that. You do. You can't relax into nothing, because you relaxing into something gives the other person or the other energy a chance to.
No, but if
you know what I mean?
relax into something, it's like when the animals go to the watering hole and they lick the water and they relax, you end up dead.
And there's
They're
one or
eaten
two
by the predators.
But there is one or two that can be relaxed at the water hole, but when the predator comes, they can still skip back and be on point and be ready to.
No, but they're not. But they're
But
like.
they still had an anxiety.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. That anxiety
You can't
which
relax
kept
too
them
much.
alive. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like, so, yeah, school, going back to the question that we asked, the homeschooling for me, if I had my way with any future kids, God willing, that I would have, I would do that. That's what I would do. I would keep them at home if they wanted to, and I'll school them at home. I think they'll get a proper education out of it, because the schooling system is structured for them right now.
Yeah.
Learning is wide range.
Tailored to the individual.
You can control and nurture what your child needs to actually
I
learn.
feel like it's mass production.
There you go. So
Like fast food.
It's been like that. Though.
There you go.
And it has been like that.
half the things we've learned over life through schooling has been a waste of time, because like I said, we don't really use them. most of the things we learn in schooling,
It's funny. No.
most of the things that we choose to learn in schooling,
Yeah.
they're beneficial to us because we go on to use them. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but the things they try to give us, we'll learn it, we'll get straight A's or whatever, but it's no relevance to us
not good.
in the future. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's good to have it, but it doesn't do anything. And let's have it right.
Let's have it
Even
right.
down to GCSEs and things. The amount of people I know that's just said they've got A's, said they've got B's, and it's counted. It's counted. So it shows me again, was it really that serious? It wasn't really, was it?
So what about? Because as you're saying, 'cause I love you, and it's like I can let you talk. Cause you got wealth of information, but I got to find out what it is. I think that certain people who never had the family structure like you had, never had the foresight or the brave the courage to step out when they stepped out, ended up falling prey to the system. Certain of them man behind the door, certain of them man are dead, certain of them man have done stuff with your anxiety.
100%.
They didn't want to do, certain females have done. Do you know, like, and it's just like they become products of their environment. Like you don't know how to control or to nurture
And
things.
again-
You give it that generic kind of like
1,000,000%.
upbringing, and it's detriment to you without the home structure from parents, maybe single parent families.
We'll put it like this. I was in a single parent family. My mum and my dad wasn't together when I was growing up. I just had them both in their
Support you.
places where I needed
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so don't get me wrong, when I was growing up, my mum done all the beating. I got licks when I was growing up for doing bad stuff.
Yeah,
My
but
dad-
it's important.
My dad's never hit me in my whole life. You know my dad.
Yeah, of
so
course,
you
come
see
on,
the kind
come
of
on,
person he is.
come on.
So
I was
my dad would let
2 days ago.
There you go.
Bigging him up. You know he was on the show too, right?
Yeah, you have holy for story.
No, you know
Just telling
you know
those
what?
about me.
You know he's got his report card from.
My dad don't. My
Yeah.
dad's seen every picture that I need to find from back in the day. My dad will have
Yeah.
it there. Like he's real nostalgia. You know what I mean, my dad. But like I was saying, he's never put a hand on me. But I'm more scared of him than I am of my mum because of the way he speaks and the way he installs things was. It was frightening to hear him upset with me, even though I knew this guy would never put a hand on me in my life. But it was just, I just knew the things that he installed into me and the way from when I was young he wanted me to be. He was on a streetwise thing. He was on a more, all right, academic is good. I want you to get all your things, but don't let things get out of hand for you when you're walking the roads. Be aware of this, be aware of that.
See this. This is.
And
this
you
is
know him,
love,
so when I'm saying
yeah.
it, you know the way. If now he still does it up to
Only
now.
him. I know that he loves you.
No, 100%.
So you've got fear of upsetting somebody who loves you. So you know everything that comes from him.
100%.
What he's saying to you, what he's doing to you, the fear of what your disappointment of him is because you know he
I
loves
know,
you.
I
He
know,
cares
I know,
about
I know.
you.
100%,
That other people haven't
100%.
got that kind of love, and they're
That's-
led astray by the
that-
wrong
and
people.
that-
It's very man.
That for me is where things break down for
The youth of
children.
today.
Yeah, for children.
You pass me the tissue.
The simplest thing we can do as adults for our kids is not money. It's just being there and it's understanding
Thank you so
and
much.
taking in.
You pass it like you pass me.
Keep
I'm
going.
dead. Yeah, hold on.
No, but it's literally understanding and being able to still be relevant with your child.
Yeah.
So a lot of back in the day, our parents, a lot of our parents were a lot older than
We got
us.
to put a pin in that. I want to let you finish your sentence. We've
Go
got
on.
to put a pin in that. People, please, at home, people, baby mothers, baby fathers, parents. It's not the money, it's not the clothes on their back, it's the
No.
time and the love. What Glenn is saying is
100%.
just invest in what you
100%.
know, what you feel in the child, letting the child know you care,
100%.
caring about their future, caring about their present, caring about their emotions, looking into the child and seeing what they need, the best thing for them. That's the most
100%.
important thing. And people forget it. I've forgotten it before. I've got bag of children.
You know what it is?
And sometimes you forget it. You get caught up in a relationship. You get caught up in life. You get caught
That's
up in
what I was
stuff.
gonna say. Life is life. So every time, put it like this, yeah. Life can go one way, your way, or not your way. Not every time it's gonna go your way. Even when you're trying to do the best in life, sometimes other things will make you look like you're doing the worst. So all you have to do as a person is understand you will upset some people in life. You will make some people pleased. But the first and foremost person that you have to be happy with is yourself.
Yeah.
Anything you do, like I said, I've been bad. I've done loads of bad stuff. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've been an angel. But anything bad I've done with a good heart. So
Yeah.
any position I've had to be in where I've done something that goes against the grain of what I stand for and believe in. I've had to do it, but the big man up there will know this guy didn't wake up this morning and say to himself he's just going to go out there and cause a mischief. He was put in a position that he had to act a certain way or be a certain way, and half the time that is coming off the back of other people's energies that you come into contact with. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so I could smile as much as I want. If that guy sitting next to me doesn't take my smile as genuine and stop what he's doing, he's going to force something else out of me because he's going to be the way he wants to be towards me. Once that comes out and whatever happens...
Antenna have to go up.
It has to. But as long as whatever you're doing with a good heart. And what that means is sometimes it's out of your hands. But sometimes you've just got to remember, I didn't cause this. This isn't something I woke up today and wanted to happen or decided for it to cause. It's just happened. Goes like that for anything, whether it's baby mums being upset with you or whatever. If you're true to yourself and you know you never took a liberty with your baby mum, with your child, accept what they're saying and move on. Because you know what happens? The longer you dwell on what they're saying, it becomes a reality. Then people start to say, yeah, look, it is that, when it totally isn't that. It's just that you're nurturing their qualms now and you're involved in their emotions now. Once you get involved in their emotions, there's no shaking it off. Easiest way to shake it off is accept what they say. By next week, 2 weeks, whether it's true or not, because the more you fight it is the more they want it to be real. The more you vocally fight it. So sometimes you have to just breathe.
Leave them,
let them say what they've said and just prove to them by next week. You don't even have to go back and say to them, see, I told you. They will just know by next week. I was stepping over the mark and I've done a bit too much there. They might even want to come and say to you, sorry about last week.
Some of them might not know, but you know, like, it's
even
okay.
Even if they don't, it's not about them.
It's okay.
It's about the kid. And it's about making sure your kid knows as that kid grows older, no matter what mum was saying at that time, I deep down, put it like this. My mum never dissed my dad, ever, no matter what problems they had. But if she did, me knowing my dad and how he is, there's nothing she could say to me that's going to sway my mind earlier and make me think any way of my dad. That's only because of the way I know he is involved and he is doing things. So sometimes people like to say the total opposite to who you are. And that's the only way they can scar you. Because they know you, they know, all right, I could call him all the names under the sun.
Waste, man, it's all in, like the
they tell you don't check for your child. That's the worst thing anybody can say to a male. We're the king of the pride, you know. Like, that's my child. I don't care about my child. If I don't care, then it won't really be nothing to me. It's walk off the duck's back. I might just say, oh, whatever, and walk out the door and not see me.
That's what they're going to use, though. They're going to use the worst thing. That's what
you just have to let them say what they're saying. Take it in. Don't respond to tell them what you know and what you know they know. Just move on. Next week, they will see whether or not you care. And if they stop you seeing your child, it's one thing I say to all dads that don't get to see their child, because Father's Day just went. And I posted up, and before I posted, I was very conscious of, there's a lot of us that like to say happy Father's Day to us, happy Father's Day to everybody, but sometimes Father's Day is a bit depressing for certain men, simply because of the same thing you just saying. They're put in situations that they didn't want to be in, but
they're still trying to do the right thing,
but they're still going to get crucified.
They're not allowed to, they're not allowed to.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And there's loads of men through that right now. But all I'll say is, you're going to be asked questions. From your child's going to come and look for you. They have to. You can't rely on just the hearsay of one parent till you're 18 and not even wonder if that's the truth. If you don't know it's the truth. So just expect them to come and find you. And when they come and find you, just have everything that you need to show them that shows you did want to see them. That doesn't mean money. That doesn't mean anything like that. That just means you've reached out many times. You've got responses that showed you don't be involved. Once you can break it down.
There was I had these problems at a certain point as well, and I saw something, and I was estranged from my youth when I went to the States. When I was there.
I remember when you went to States. I remember when you said,
I don't get to see now. Someone told me, write down, keep the birthday presents, keep the cards and that, but write to them like you're talking to them. Like right now, if I'm not seeing them, write to them as you're talking to them. Write a journal to give, you can give back to them, you understand? Which you can show them. That's a great way to show them, like, put your emotions down on paper, and they can understand what you feel at certain times.
In the day and age we live in, if you really do feel like that, you've got phones in your hand. Any moment it takes you, just speak into your phone. Just record it. The hair in your voice and the genuineness in your voice is going to go a longer way than seeing writing sometimes. Sometimes you do have to hear how somebody says something. Otherwise, you perceive it how you want to perceive it. I could send you a text saying, "Get up, come link me tomorrow." You might look at that and say, "Right, is this boy chucking? What does he want me to link him for?" But you ain't heard my voice. I could be just saying to you, "Yeah, wake up, bro. Come and link me tomorrow." It's just how it comes across in the text.
Yeah.
You got a phone, speak it. If that's what you feel you need to do for them to hear you, let them hear your voice. Because there's nothing better than hearing the genuineness in somebody's voice.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And like you said, but collect everything as well, birthday presents, cards, whatever.
I'll be honest
because
with
sometimes you don't know. Like kids, like I'm saying, kids don't know. They only know what they're being told by the one parent. So if they've got their thing back, you understand what's been going on.
If it gets to a stage where they get if they get to a stage where they're gonna read journals from you, I expect them to be at an age where kids' birthday presents is not what they're there for.
Yeah, but still, what I'm saying to you is like, irrespective, you see when you've got, I'm an estranged father, you've got an estranged child, yeah? Child hasn't seen a father for 10 years, 20 years, 15 years. All they've got is the mother's thing, all they've got is the father's thing of what's been going on. If you now come with, they might not want the birthday present, the birthday cards or whatever, but they will understand that every single year, what is going through, the dad can put his emotion into that. On top of the journals there as well. And even, they may never see these things, but you know when you harbour this energy and you don't release it, that kills people,
this
bro.
goes back to when I said to you at the beginning, as long as you deep down know yourself.
Yes.
That's all that it counts, you know, no matter what anybody's saying, because you ain't seeing your child right now and it's very unfair. And I can see in your face that you love your kids.
Yeah.
But the powers being, the person that is actually looking after your child right now is ultimately more powerful than yourself.
Of course.
Ultimately.
And it's this day and age as well, the way they make it.
Sometimes you just gotta be you. You gotta just wait for your child's gonna come. There's no two ways about it. They have to.
They're gonna
their
come.
own peace.
They're gonna want to know
how you are, and anybody that knows how you are and the person you are. Your journals, smurnals, voice notes, whatever. You can speak.
But not everyone can. That's what I'm saying for everyone. But there's certain people that are behind the door because they're pissed off about their kids today or this, and they bump that person in the rave, and that's the reason they give that person in the rave that energy that he's talking about. Next thing they're talking and whatever, but it's not because of that.
No,
it's because they never let off that energy. They have to find ways to let off that enery. Do you know what I'm saying? Like different ways. Maybe not journal, maybe not this, but you know what I'm saying?
My son's 21 now, going on 22. I've put like this for about 3 years of my son's life when I moved to Bournemouth. Because I moved there, I met someone, I got married and what's not. Obviously divorced now, it's a long story, but that's a long story, right? Yeah.
It's life.
But no,
it's life.
My first 3 years of being there, my son's mum, bless her, I'm not even here trying to bash her because she's a wonderful mum. She's done everything for my son that I needed her to do, and I love my son dearly. I've not had no problems with him. Never been called by police. So as a mum, I know she's done her thing. But there was a moment where it was iffy, and I didn't see my son for about 3 years. Now in this 3 years, it bun me differently because I was far away, and it wasn't a thing where I could even just turn up like I could normally turn up, and you know what I mean. So in my head, I was thinking, okay, I'm not seeing my son right now, and is she spilling this in a way that I don't want to see my son? I'll be honest with you, in the end, I went to court, I went to mediations. Before it left, I think I'd done about 2 sessions of mediations with her and my son being there. And the mediator turned around to her and said, do you really want to sit here and go through all of this? Like they could tell this was actual pointless. No, not even that it was breaking me down. They could just see the relationship that we all had didn't warrant us be sitting in front of them. She hats off to her. It took somebody else to say something to her for her to fall back and let the situation be smooth.
It's emotions
again.
though. So
that's what it is. It's emotions. Luckily though, like I said, years ago I would have gone mental. Everyone's life would have been hell. I can't see my son. Are you crazy? Everybody's life's hell around here, right?
Including your own.
Including my own.
Primarily your own.
But ultimately, I still would know I love my son. No one should be telling anybody that loves their seed they cannot see the seed that they help create. One thing I want to say to women, and I hope you don't take this personally, because this is live filter with AIDS, so I'm going to say it as real as it is. Yeah. Women are it is a man's world. Let's have it right. I'm not saying it to be funny. I'm saying it to be realistic. We are your protectors. We are women's protector. We are there to guide our women through life and make sure they're safe. But what women need to understand is we need you. Yes, the child is both of ours, but I'm saying this tactfully. Life starts with us. They like to say it starts with them because they house the baby.
Are we planting the seed?
But we plant the seed. Life is already in us, and life finds its way to a home inside you. So when you really technically check it, it needs both of us, but it needs us to start life off. So to turn around after 9 months and say, this is my child, and you can't see your child.
Or even after 10 months or 2 years or 5 years
All
or 6
they need
years.
to do is just check what they're actually saying. This is my child and you can't see your child. The only man I want any woman to tell they cannot see their child to is a man that is molesting their child or a man that is abusing their child. Always remember, it's our child and your child because we give life and you incubate life and then you bring life forth. So once you bring, I know it's 9 months, don't get me wrong, the strain and the toll and the strife. But once you get to 9 months and you have to turn around to somebody who hasn't abused a child or put a child's life in danger and you have to say those words, this is my child, you can't see that child, read what you're saying. Because all you're doing is you're actually telling a man that wants to see his child that he can't see his child. Now, we're not talking about an abuser, we're not talking about somebody that's done something wild here to the kid. We're talking about somebody that you're just upset with right now and you're decided he can't see the child that you both created. Yeah. So they have to stop themselves sometimes and realize those words shouldn't go to everybody because ultimately you're only saying that to the man because he wants to see his child. That's why you're saying the words. So when you say, this is my child, you can't see your child, remember, you're only saying that because he's asked you to see his child. So you shouldn't really stop that. Only time it should stop is if a man is an abuser. I agree with that.
Yeah,
a man does anything.
Who are you to prevent, like you're saying, it's our child, to prevent somebody who has equal love for the same
what I'm trying
child?
to make them
Who
understand.
are you to deny them? Imagine if they have to look at it, imagine they was denied.
Right.
If they was denied, how the hell would they feel?
I want them to understand just how they feel when they say, this is my child. That's how we feel as well. It's just that we don't actually humans haven't give us the powers to
The way society
take our
is, the
child
way the
away from
society
them.
is.
But if you went back to caveman days when there was no rulings or whatever, you couldn't tell that caveman he can't see his child. He's taking his child off of you and going about his business if he has to. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so rules and regulations have come into place, like you're saying, from humanity, which has made
Humanity, society, it's the same thing, the same school system, breaking down shit, separation of shit.
It definitely starts from the school system because the school system is the first system that I ever saw tell me to rebel against my parents. If my parents are doing something to you, you can tell us. That's the first.
Remember when I was in school, when they goes, you can take your parents to court.
No,
I was still going to school.
100%.
And they're mad.
And you got to remember this. When they told us that 5 years before that, the school was still beating kids. The teachers were caning. There was stuff going on in schools that your parents wouldn't even do to you at home. So for them to turn around in the end and say, oh, does your parents abuse you? And the abuse goes so fast, man, it doesn't have to be hitting. You can look at your child different now and your child might say the wrong thing in school and you're classed as an abuser. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's so far across the board right now. Even us as parents, we have to be careful how we're handling.
But then who is the most qualified to defend or to educate their child? Like you said, that's why the homeschooling is important. Who is the most qualified? Because we love them. It's for us. The teachers got no investment there.
What we have to realize is, when we lay down with a woman and a woman lays down with a man, that's the beginning of being the most qualified people on this planet to look after that child. If we both break down ourselves, and we can't look after our child between ourselves, it's only going to be them that's going to step in the end.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
So, allow it. It's a problem.
The best thing to do is women need to know who they are laying down with, and any woman that's had a child with a man and turns around and feels like that man's not worthy or that man can't see their child now because they've had that child, needs to check themselves and understand what they even laid down with that man for in the beginning. You loved that man, you obviously had this child and you thought it was going to be what you wanted it to be. But the second you put a block in front of that man, because it is scary, let's be real, not everybody handles situations the same, and not everybody handles situations how you want them and foresee them to handle it. So those words go into a man, everybody's going to be different with it. So a woman might turn around and want him to act straight away a certain way when she says something. But if he doesn't act that way, she's just going to follow through and believe that he's not stepping up to who she wants him to be. But he's still got to take his time to become that person in whatever way he's got to do it. But if you rush it,
the child's your child. The man is not your child. The child's your child.
Child is always going to be a child.
No, the child's your child. The man's not your child. Just because you have a child with someone, it's not that you own them. The same vice versa.
This is what I'm saying, though.
Sorry, Wizard, you couldn't.
A woman that plays that card of this is my child and you can't, she knows. All right, this is the best way I could put it. Most of the time, that's the only way a woman can control that man.
Yeah,
she's tried everything else,
say it.
Working, but most of the time, that's the only words.
And women are supposed to control man. Women are you're not supposed to be controlled.
I'll be honest with you, women are not supposed to control men, but a man is supposed to feel adhered to a woman that doesn't control him. A man is supposed to want to just chill and want to be around. We're easy guys.
Please, you hear it on live talks. Understand.
We're not complicated people.
Understand.
Like, there's only male and female on this whole planet as well. That's what everybody needs to realize. So there's interactions that go on all day, every single day. But if you're with somebody that doesn't want to be with you, just let them go. But most men, if they haven't got, we just want to come home, it's quiet, know our wife loves us, wants to touch us and make us feel
simple
like that child, innit? Like, but don't overstep that feel like the child part, because you'll start going into a world where you're only going to get rebellion coming from a real man. Do you get what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of women start that and the men that they're dealing with can't handle the woman's mouth and how she's talking, and then it turns into actual real abuse when it was never going to be anything like that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like a man's heart can be triggered by a woman seriously, and I don't think women actually know that. When a man loves, that's the most dangerous geezer on both sides of the fence to a woman, because if a man tells you he loves you, listen to that cleanly, because he doesn't tell every girl he loves you. You get what I'm saying? If he tells you he loves you, try your hardest to nurture that man's love and keep it there, because the second you start taking abuse of it,
it's a problem.
It becomes a problem.
You got your question, you're good.
Yeah, I was going to say,
we're going to move on.
I don't know if it's a bit too sticky, but what advice would you guys give a man that is in that situation where a woman's saying, I can't see your children or your kids? Go through the court system?
100%. You know why you have to? It depends on the woman. It depends on the woman. Some women only understand the court system and how it's supposed to play out. Some women,
even the court, they still fucking with the court system. I've seen people do the court system, they'll have the visits, and the women still mess up the visits and stuff. And that's, if you put your heart out there, that could be the last straw that breaks your fucking heart.
Listen.
So look, you have to know yourself.
Have the last shot, because she is there with the child ultimately. Yeah? And what you have to be careful of is, I hope most men that are being told they can't see their kids anymore have actually been involved with their kids, if that makes any sense. Because you do need your kids on your side when it comes to this moment. And you do, no matter what, kids are always going to listen to mum. They're always going to hear what mum's saying. Your dad's a waste man, they're going to hear. They're not going to join in though. They're going to hear it. But deep down in their heart, they just want to see their dad.
But also, what we said about kids and like the reference to Gaza, reference to here, a child will feel the energy no matter what. If you get to spend time with your child, the child will know if you're a good dad or a bad dad. If you're a good mum or bad, they're still the mother. They can still be custom doing something. When they see the dad, they'll know whether what their mum is saying the truth. Whether they back it or not, they'll have an idea of it.
I know people my age now that they obviously, I assume they still love their mum or their dad, but I know certain people now that turn around now and say, yeah, Now when I look on life and how my mum was or whatever, they resent their
They understand.
And these are people I will talk to, and I hear the way they're talking, and I know there's been a scarring seriously somewhere along the way between you and your parent or whoever it's been that has never been addressed. And on top of that, at the adult that you are now, you should be able to be turning around and deciphering that and saying to yourself, nah, you know what I was hearing them times or whatever was going on was not the truth, because I actually know how my parent was. But anybody that turns around at the age we are now and does feel like, boy, my mum was this and that, I sit there and I think, right, you might have really gone through it. Like when you was a youth, you know what I mean?
Let's, I'm gonna move on from here. We're gonna move on from here because we're gonna be. I want some more. So when you got to Aloysius now, so you did drama in primary school and stuff, yeah? When you got to Aloysius now, you was freshman school, like primary school and the secondary school, knowing yourself so well and being that outspoken and stuff. Going to secondary school is a whole different hierarchy.
It is.
And meeting all different people and finding yourself in that as well. And then plus coming through what you came through in going from the racist era to, because not everyone had to endure that as well. They had safer environments to come up in.
I think
so that was a whole other entity.
That is what set me in line for my secondary school experience. My secondary school experience was proper. It was great. It was like all the laughs, all the sadness, all the happiness, like everything that you could roll into 6 years of growing around your peers. It just, every day was exciting. I enjoyed secondary school.
What's your first school journey like?
Great. My first school journey, I remember,
Talk to me.
my first school journey, I was ready early. I swear I got up about 6 o'clock in the morning. I was ready early. You know the ones they're like. And I remember my mum saying to me, do I have to take you to the bus stop? But it was like a joke, because she knew I was bunking off. She was like, do I have to take you to the bus stop? I was like, nah, it's cool, man. But she still came, she still was like, I got to see you off on this. Not because of that, but
even that waving bicycle, you would have been a
when I
big
got to the
thing
bus
for her,
stop, like, I'd never seen so many kids on different coloured uniforms. And I'm normally going to school, remember primary school's 10 minutes from we go from where I was. So I'm normally going to school like 8:30 in the morning. I'm walking up Hoxton. So I only see those that go into St. Monica's or go into Burbage or one of them primary schools around there. But seeing the amount of kids that was getting on these bus and going their different ways let me know, raw. All right, this was my kind of thing, because that's what I would do. I'd get on the bus, go Barbican, get my skates out. I liked being out there, do you know what I mean? Like, and just, so this was great for me. So my first school journey up on the 271 going up to Highgate was like, it was proper. And another thing that was good was there was different people from my primary school who was going to St. Aloysius as well.
Okay.
But they was all getting on different bus stops along the way. So we already had our little clique. By the time we was getting to school, we had our little corner, you know what I mean? But yeah, St. Monica's, St. Aloysius was great, man. I was in.
No, you know, where did you go?
What? On the journey?
First school journey, yeah, where did you go?
Just straight to school, man. Straight through.
No,
the way.
no, GCP, you
No,
got
no,
to
my first-
No.
my
I'm talking
first-
about when you went, like, first school journey I went to some countryside. I remember falling in cow shit. Dude,
That's why you're saying this.
I mean,
Who went in the bus? Oh, you missed school journey.
School journey, like, we went on holiday, school holiday.
My first school trip was Isle of Wight.
So how was
where I
that?
went.
How was that? Because that's
that
the
was-
flip side to fucking
Alright.
Murray Grove.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? That's different.
Isle of Wight was.
Not your first day at school.
Oh yeah.
First day at school.
My first proper school trip away without parents, like for the week or whatever.
Yeah.
Funny, Frost was there as well.
Who?
Frost.
Frost?
Yeah, he was there.
Frost.
Me and Frost was in the same
Yeah,
primary school,
Frost.
innit? Same
Frost,
class.
You know, Frost done a show how many
Yeah, I
years
know. I
ago?
saw it. I watched it,
No,
man.
Big man, Frost.
Yeah.
DJ. Come on.
Yeah, no, Isle of Wight was good. Isle of Wight was, how can I explain again? It was good, but it wasn't good in a funny old way, because like I said, I had a problem with kind of, just being told what to do. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, I kind of felt like I was streetwise enough to handle myself out here. Don't get me wrong, the activities and that we used to do out there showed us some different beaches, because Isle of Wight's got a place called Allen Bay. And I think they've got 7 different coloured sands, black, white, gold,
never knew that,
all
yeah.
coming out the cliff.
Yeah.
Naturally, like, it's weird, like red sand and all those things I didn't know as well. So went out there, Shanklin Shine.
Other schools as well, like.
Yeah, all of them. Everybody,
school, Liverpool,
it was like I think they must probably still do it now, to tell you the honest truth. It was like a place that everybody got, you know what they do here? Is it Camp Hill?
Camp Hill, I know.
I think the kids in East and all that, they go to Camp Hill, same sort of thing, it's just a getaway, but other schools are there and everybody's just up there, you know what I mean? But no, that was yeah. I don't know why it was good still. It was a good little trip.
So how did you get into what you're into now from school times? Because you said you was into drama, you was into music. How did that progress into? Because
when I went
you were
to
doing
St.
this.
Aloysius, straight away I was into the drama and all that. I was trying to get into Anna Shares because my mum went Anna Shares.
I went Anna
I was
Shares.
trying to get. You went there.
I went Anna Shares.
I can tell because your personality. I can tell you.
It took me a long time to get in there, but I thought I
that's what I'm saying. It's a big waiting list for that, man.
I went there for a little
waiting
while.
list for that. But yeah, I wanted to do all of that. So my school was kind of tied in with Channel 4 them times, and I don't know if you remember there was a program called Early Bird. It used to come on in the mornings on Channel 4,
Really?
Menton Studios. So I used to be a presenter for them.
Nice.
Yeah, so go and do like cinema reviews, competition, all different
Nice.
stuff.
Well, I'm gonna Google that.
You know what, it's funny, I was trying to look through it the other day. I got someone tape with my dad's house. My dad will show you anyway. He's got that old VHS.
Oh, you don't bring it. That's coming on the show. You know? Hey!
Telling me the tape.
What's ya? I'm telling you. God.
Yeah, I was doing that for probably about a year. I've done that, and then I got into the music side of things. So I can play steel pan. That's where I learned to play steel pan in St. Aloysius.
Okay.
My uncle Francis, he's been playing pan for years. So as soon as I saw the steel pans in there, never picked up a pan or nothing in my life. But because I saw them there, my uncle was a pan player. I just thought, just take up this pan thing. You get me? So I took up the pan, could play the double second melody and a bit of the bass, and he gave me a melody pan. Once he saw I was doing it,
Gave you a pan at home,
my uncle gave me a melody pan.
Yeah.
So I was banging away on that for time in school, getting into like I used to love steel pans and what's not. And then Frost got shipped out, innit? Frost ended up going to
Ghana? Where?
yeah, he went to Ghana.
Troublesome boy. Yeah.
He got shipped out.
Go home and learn.
Yeah, oh mate, I couldn't believe when they dipped him cold.
Yeah. I said, go on, Africa.
They dipped him cold.
No.
One day Frost was
Like,
there, the
you got
next day he
holiday,
was
you got
gone
holiday,
like. He killed me.
Yeah.
But yeah, he dipped out and went to Ghana, and I think he come back on the last 2 years or something.
back different, though, innit?
He come back different. He come back shook, man. Come back shook.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
back talking about all the prefects and all that.
Yeah,
it's wild
come back
out there,
different.
G.
Come
The
back
prefects will get onto you. Shut up, Ross, man. You're back now. I'm trying to hear about all
different kind of
that.
t-shirt.
I swear he went there the other day and saw one of the prefects. Jesus Christ. I said, you don't remember me, do you? You used to get on to me back in the day. But no, yeah, he come back on I think it was the last 2 or 3 years of secondary school, and that's where we started getting into the
Music.
DJing.
Okay, yeah.
My other uncle was a DJ. He used to play like Germany, France. He was the happy house sort of hardcore side of things, but he was flying out from early. So every weekend when I go with my grands, his room's just there and he had his decks in there, and so I'll just do my little thing on the deck,
Nice.
kind of learnt on the slide. And then by the time Frost came back from Ghana, just got some, one of my mates around the corner from where I used to live as well, Wayne, he got some sound like belt drive decks, and none of them knew man could DJ or whatever, so one day I just went in there, started doing my thing, and then Frost was just on this mic thing, so we was bubbling, doing a little thing, you get me? This is like, I think when we reached about 16, 17, that's when we proper like, let's take this DJ thing out there and try and get on somewhere. And Spidey got us onto Chicago FM them times.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Okay.
Badger was doing it them times there.
Okay.
So yeah, Spidey got us on there, and from there, that's where the music thing's it's
You
never
haven't
left,
looked back?
man. I've
You haven't looked back?
always had it in me, like it's
that's true.
been a proper part of my life. There.
There's so much to unpack on this one. All right, so you started there, Chicago FM. What was at that time? What was could you even fathom that you'd be where you are now?
Nah.
Because the things you've seen and the things you've done through music, through
Times
being a
change,
DJ,
yeah.
the places you've been, the people you shoulders you rubbed, the stuff you're doing now is phenomenal as well. Like, what was your aspiration at that point when you was on Chicago FM and you was a young person? Spidered you yourself, Frost.
I couldn't honestly say to you that I thought like DJing would be something I'd be doing into my 40s and whatever. I knew we'd do it then, but I just didn't know them days how much music played a role in people's lives. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so remember 16, 17, I'm barely getting into clubs, so it's mostly house parties I'm playing in and stuff like that. So I'm getting the vibe off of people, and I'm hearing people say, "Oh, wicked DJ G," blah blah. But I'm not realizing just how important music is to people. Over the years, I started to realize just how music saves people's lives out here, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think that's what kept me more and more and more in it.
What was you playing when you first?
Jungle.
Jungle.
I started off in Jungle straight away. Excel. Yeah.
Excel.
Yeah.
And then when
EXCEL.
Then when you came to, because what was it, Chicago FM, then Mission FM?
It was Chicago FM, then Mission, then Y2K, wasn't it? Y2K
Talk about Mission FM.
2000.
Talk about Mission FM.
Come on.
Talk about Mission FM, isn't it? Tell your thing.
Mission.
Because remember your growth.
That's where it proper, the words went out there that, we're all a proper crew, and I started realizing Bachelor Crew.
Bachelor Crew, that
I remember,
what?
listen,
Oh, to them not. You didn't know about you.
Big up, loggers.
Come on.
Big up Swift, big up Axe.
There you go, Bassy.
Bassy, you know what I mean?
Come on.
Real talk. You lot, actually, no, big and serious, jokes aside. I think when I first ever kind of met you lot, I wasn't sure. I was thinking, these men are just some wild North London man like that. You know, like, you look at Bassy, you look at Swift, you look at you, all three of them together, you just kind of just...
Don't forget Axe.
Axe. Axe more than anything.
Yeah, because me and Axe are like two peas in the pod.
I just think, oh, mate, these men are just like, I don't know, is this radio station? I knew it was real, but I just didn't know how real you lot was trying to take it. But when I realised was when Heartless and Dangerous, that's when I realised, no, these men are fucking actually serious with what they're doing. And you changed the whole radio thing them times there. You changed the whole game of how it actually went. The crews were actually birthed through Mission. No one can't tell us no different.
And they don't know that. People don't know that.
No one can't.
So the crew, all these crews, none of these crews would have been there. Roll Deep, none of them would have been there. None of them.
Were birthed through Mission. Please do not. No one can't even chat no rubbish about that. You get what I'm saying? Like. Would you have Basing Jet, Dangerous Steve, Vicious V, Heartless,
Slaughter Mob.
Yeah. Footsie, I remember Footsie was on. Mission was the thing, Chris Biscuit, all of them raves.
Yeah.
That's what let me start seeing people from bare different areas interested in music and the DJing side of things, you know what I mean? Like, and obviously, we're there, we've got Heartless on there, big up Bush, big up Fonty, big up Mo. They are the higher echelon right now of the house and garage movement at that time.
You see what happened, for me, because all of that, it's like that was Swift's real, like, give Swift the props for that. Was Swift's real, he was passionate about that.
Yeah.
We was a collective. All of us, all the names you spoke, was a collective. We worked together, we moved together, we moved as a unit. But that was his thing, and he was like, come, we're doing this thing. And we just papered it up. And he was like, we're doing it. It was something for us to keep doing. And then he didn't let it go. He kept going and going and going. Didn't let it go.
He done well.
So what we was making, we was investing in there. And that's why our money was going more time, because we were ravers. We used to rave from Monday to Sunday. And he wanted his own rave. So he made, it was like, he really made his birthday. And then you got Heartless came in, and because of their dynamic, because they had a white guy in the crew, that's why they blew up the way they blew up. It was easier, they was more accessible
and
than other people.
Was cold.
And no, they're fucking amazing. I'm not taking nothing away from them, they were amazing. But they were great poster boys. They had a great package. When they would spit, it was fucking crazy. The energy, Bushkin's energy was nuts. Fonty's a DJ, he's fucking amazing as well.
It worked.
There was a lot of talent in Mission FM. Your crew was serious. Slaughter was serious. It's like they was allowed to shine more than others at the time. Everyone got an opportunity to do their thing.
Man, listen.
But the raves, was just like the lineups we had.
Everything was building from there. There was no scene until the scene was building from there. If you get what I'm saying, like.
I remember when Solid Crew. I remember when Roll Deep Crew came out, and they was
after all that.
No, but they was just stealing. They was just stealing everything that they saw. You know, they were just plagiarizing.
There you go.
They plagiarized a bit.
There you go. The way it moves.
But this crew,
There you go.
And that's how they grew.
That's the thing, cause like. I like the fact that I see people understand and know Heartless have been a foundation crew from early, but I don't think people really realise just how much input mans have in this whole music thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of DJs born overnight. There's a lot of MCs born overnight. But since those times, there's been nothing quite game changing and groundbreaking as most of the crews and people that were doing things in the house scene at that point of
Skip a D, them youths there.
listen. All the
They came
jungle
afterwards.
man, no, the jungle man were already gone. Remember, Skips and all that was already doing the jungle and the drum and bass, but they had their own niche. We wasn't in that no more. That was we actually came over. I'll tell you the best way to explain. We are the crossover from house and garage into grime. So it was loads of house and garage for a while, but that actual crossover from house and garage into grime, where MCs were proper spitting, almost road stuff, experiences that they're having on the roadside, stepping away from feeling good in the rave. Do you get what I'm saying? That was that point of Mission FM was the actual crossover into it going into and becoming grime music. As you see, Wiley, what did he do? He done that tune, what do you call it, garage? He had to have Heartless them in there.
Come on,
and that's the thing. Wiley's explaining it. It was a crossover. So no one even knew what to call grime at first. It was just like a back end of garage. But he's put Heartless in there and he's put himself in there to explain this is no longer garage, this is a crossover, and this is where it crosses by having Mighty Mo, Bushkin them asking, what do you call this? What do you call that? And that's the influence that Wiley would have got from them.
Yeah, and
all of them,
there was so much fun. You know, I was just dancing them times, though. I was just okay.
You was enjoying yourself.
I just enjoyed myself. I was a teen. That's what it was. I just want to enjoy myself. I didn't give a shit about what's going on. I'm getting paid, everyone right there. Any problems? I'm there. Other than that, I'm just raving, living life basically.
But that was the way forward. That showed it was good times.
And that went up and down the country. When I knew, you see, the thing was, like I said, Swift, it was Swift's baby. Everyone we had constant meetings. Others had to be at the meetings in all the different pubs and all that. This one would talk, this one would talk about subs and all these things. It was all like Japanese to me. Like I said, if there's a problem, they'll call me that. Not make sure things are right. When we had the studios, we'll deal with that. Rigs on the roof, we'll deal with that. Because that was DTT. They were telling them things were fucking 400, 500 pounds at a time, crash. Them things cost money, crash. And it's like, we got to buy another one. It was all come out of our pockets. That's what I was like, I must have, again. But that's why we was able to keep it going in that. But then the fruits of that was Chris Biscuit, was certain them raves, was like it was our thing. Like it was just so nice to be able to kind of rave. And then times there, everyone's in the lineup, everyone had their time warming up, warming down, whatever. It was amazing time. It was amazing time.
It's seeing all of that created from the ground up that lets me be able to do what I do now. Because seeing all of these raves that you lot was doing and being involved and actually taking it in, you lot was just man them like us. So you wasn't some random guys that's just booked me and I don't really know your roles. I'm actually seeing it every time when you lot are doing. I'm hearing you lot's formula. I'm understanding where you're going with this, and that shapes how I want to do my teams going forward. So to me, so again,
remember Cookies and Cream?
What, Leisure Lounge?
Yeah, went to jump in with the Zoo Boys and them people. We jumped in for a lot of people.
You lot done bits them times.
Yeah, we jumped in for a lot of people, bro.
Good, the bad, the ugly. You lot was doing a few different
Stephen
raves.
Koo.
Yeah.
We went for Stephen Koo.
That's what I'm trying to say.
We went for a lot of people, man. Like, made some things happen.
And they were big people, those people.
Yeah.
Stephen Koo's a big promoter, blood.
So, but now you never, because Mission FM, it changed the Y2K. Everything kind of like, as things have their time and their thing.
Changed what? Yeah, 2000, innit?
But then, you haven't stopped. You never stopped, even after the fact. You know, like when we was knocking about, like when I was with my people, Soul Love, that was
me getting back into it more.
Way after everything.
That was deep.
Way after everything. Way after.
Generous, man.
Yeah, come on. That's another thing. Yeah, people will say, "Oh, being aquarium," and people will say, "Right, you're still here," but we went from like, if you know that the years, we went through decades of music. We went through decades of music, cause like 2 or 3 decades.
Every 10, 15 years,
yeah, we was there.
Every 10, 15 years. I was there,
What you've done though, I have to take my hat off to you. Because what you've done, and you stayed the distance, and then you've got your festival. I don't want to jump forward too far. I want to talk about how you transitioned from when you got back into the deep house and that, and then you got people like B23 or not necessarily B3. So I don't even know the name. I know, like I still was. I didn't know people. But so excuse me. You got that music where I was very cocaine and candy. All them kind of them tracks. All them kind of music was coming out.
210, 212.
Yeah, because I was still raving the same way I was still raving back in the day. I was still raving.
They were proper raves as well. And
very good. What's that? What's it called? What's that freaking rave called on a Sunday? What's it called?
Can't Stop, Won't Stop.
Can't Stop, Won't Stop. That was it. Can't Stop, Won't Stop.
That's where we used to go, isn't it?
Yeah. Can't Stop, Won't Stop.
Sunday, Monday morning, but
yeah.
Nah, you know what? That was the actual, like the point where I knew to myself, yeah, I'm allowed to do certain raves and there's a lot of money to be made in these raves. Because like you saw on a Sunday, to have the amount of people that them lot had out every single Sunday, and people were religiously dying to get into that rave.
And spending money as well.
And spending money on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Like,
just up to the nines and everything.
It just showed me that, look, if you've got a product and it's appetizing to the people, they will spend their money and they'll come and they'll be involved. The only thing, when we even talk about the festivals and that, I think that led from getting bored of doing, no, I shouldn't even say bored, that come from realizing
it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough because what would happen was you'd be there on the Can't Stop, Won't Stop on a Sunday, and then you'd have to have your own after parties certain times. But you remember, like back in the day, it was like, what was it? Villa Stefanos or certain. There was after parties and stuff that went on.
There was stuff going on. Yeah, there was stuff going on.
But what about day? Because we jumped because there was after Can't Stop, Won't Stop. There started being day parties and stuff.
Who? Can't Stop, Won't Stop?
No, they started being day parties.
Because
it wasn't day parties back in our time.
House on the Street lot was doing Lance Morgan and all that was doing a lot of day parties where they were just, it was like street parties he was doing.
Yeah.
He got big off of it as a DJ, funny enough. Big up Lance every time. But yeah,
big up Lance. Come on, I remember when Lance was coming out. There you go.
So they was doing like, who was it? Lance and Casper was doing it. They was doing like House on the Street. And that was the first sort of, again, they're younger than man, but that was the first time I kind of saw the youngsters with a formula.
Yes.
What made sense. And I could see they were gonna go far with it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so even from the beginning, when Lance reached out to me and said, "Yo, man, push it and whatever," I had no problem doing that.
Okay,
you know what I mean? And he's one of the big boys of that music.
Do you know? I remember Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and even music before that. Like you said, because someone must have stopped us in the dance and said, "Are you still here? You still about? I can't believe you're still about." That kind of thing. And I remember meeting Lance and that before he started coming up, when he was just coming up stuff, and that's the difference in the age group as well. But the way, like you said, the comprehension of how music changes people's lives, and you can take the ball and run with it. And what I see him doing as well, hats off to Lance as well. Like it's great stuff.
No, 100%.
So then you said you needed more. You had to evolve it into something
like
else.
This. I'm a person like, because I'm a DJ as well, I'm very observant as to what DJs are really making and what is a reality of being a DJ. So for me, I'm not a black coffee, so I'm not gonna get 100 bags a set. I want 100 bags a set, and I will watch other people pay him 100 bags a set, but they won't pay me 100 bags a set.
They will one day.
But I've got the same music in my bag to an extent. Like where I could handle playing a quality set. My set should be worth, if he's getting 100 grand, I should be getting 10 grand a set.
At least.
I still won't get that.
You will?
No. Eventually, away from the circuit that I grew in. So this is the thing. Product of the environment. Sadly, we're the best music scene there is. I mean, the people. The raving circuit that we're in is like second to none in a sense that if you take anybody from out there and bring them and let them come to our events and see what's going on, they'll leave there and tell everybody, I had the best time in one rave that I've never been to before in my life, but the vibe was crazy. We have that natural euphoria vibe. When people rave who I'm around, they rave. They close their eyes and they're in the music, and it's like old school rave. Do you get what I'm saying? Now it's a lot of phone in your hand and just let people see I'm here. Do you get what I mean? Whereas back in the day and the raving circuit that I kind of roll with now, everybody is still we don't go out for fun. You're going out to actually enjoy yourself and taking music and taking the surroundings and have a great time. So for me, it was that is gold dust. That don't get me wrong. That you can't buy that. Money can't buy that.
Yeah.
But the scene does not pay its artists how it should. So let's have it right. You got Heartless. You could put Heartless in front of us and you can put Black Coffee in front of us. Heartless is going to resonate to us more and we're going to be vibing more to Heartless and what they do than what Black Coffee does. Both exceptional in their own way, but Heartless would never get the same money that Black Coffee would, and Heartless would bring more out of us.
Yeah, and Funny's nuts as a DJ.
So
and then man,
you got to understand, our circuit is only good for us to a certain point. Then we do need to go and kind of find it out there, because it's only out there that's really going to pay the money that a DJ really wants. You get what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? Like your value here and your value really to the market value that you need. It's not your circle right here. It's other people that's going to value you more than people that know you straight away.
Supposed to put us on a map for the other people to come in and wonder how much you cost. Our secrets are supposed to be our secrets because we come from the same place, yes. But they're supposed to encourage those out there to wonder how they are able to book us or yourself as a cameraman or whatever going on in life. And that's where we're supposed to be able to claim proper monies. But the problem is, those that are already in those situations, they don't want 10 other people coming into that situation because we take away from their monies. Do you get what I'm saying? Like some events that I see, I wonder how they even make money, because like I said, you book a Black Coffee for 100 grand. How does your money come back to you? I don't know how. I can't work out how it does that. Unless you own the club or something. I could understand that.
How has it been? What kind of challenges have you been? Because people don't know. People who don't know. GGB has a festival. I'm not sure how many times you put it on now. Five times.
6th year coming in now, man.
Big up yourself, large every time. Called Four Corners.
Yeah, Four Corners.
And you've gone from being a DJ to being someone who puts on a festival. You've coordinated thousands of people.
Yeah.
Like you've faced obstacles. What was your journey to making that festival? What have your obstacles been?
All right.
And what is your vision for that as well?
That I gave myself a 5-year plan. Everybody that knows me and when it comes to Four Corners, who I spoke to at the beginning of it, kind of knows this was something that I really wanted to do. It stemmed from the pandemic again. When the pandemic happened, obviously everybody was sitting in their houses and not able to do nothing. So being the rebellious ones that we are certain times, I decided to rent out farms.
Innovative.
Yeah,
You're
there you go.
innovator.
Even that innovator. Yeah, that's even
Innovator.
better. Yeah. I decided to rent out a farm and just invite 30 of my friends. We went on the farm, and what I did, I actually set up a main stage. So there was 30 of us. I live streamed it, and all the lights, all the cameras and whatever, and we just did it. But what it done, unwittingly for me, is it showed everybody out there that I was able to set up a festival. Because what they were saying was, oh, he's done that for 30 of his friends. He must be able to do that when the world's open for all. And lo and behold, when the world opened, I did it, started showing them I could do it, and you know what? They believed it and they just bought into it. And here we are now, bro. And that all boils down from the pandemic as well. What a lot of people didn't realize is that pandemic was a world reset. It wasn't to just sit down. It was cleaning everything that's gone on for decades and decades and decades and setting a new narrative. So when the pandemic happened, it didn't matter whether you was a multi-billionaire or you had £1 in your pocket. We was all in the same position. You couldn't go nowhere. You could barely spend your money if you had money. And they just wanted everybody to stay in their houses, and all shops were closed. Everything was lock off to people as so to speak. But what people needed to realize, that meant we was all on a level playing field. So what happens when the world opens again? Probably this is the best time to position yourself for when the world opens, to try and get into something that you probably would never have thought you would even get into before that pandemic came. Everybody was bored in the pandemic. Everybody, unless you, like you said, was conforming and stuck to sitting in your house and working your job, you had time to get into other things. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of people became DJs in the pandemic. There's a lot of overnight DJs who are massive right now as well. Do you know what I mean? So it just took for whoever was doing whatever they were doing to just actually focus, do it, and follow through when the world opens. And that's all I did. I just said, all right, I've done it in the pandemic. I just got to do the right way, put in the licenses, talk to who I need to speak to, and just try and get the land and get it over the line. And lo and behold, I was being fought back for years. I was being fought back like the first couple of years. I was having to do side ones like try and get the license. They'll knock me back. Then I'd have to go to a land where they've got a license already. Yeah. But what that was doing, that was taken away from me earning more, because then I'd have to share the bar with them people, or I never ever got to, on the early doors, have my own everything. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so up to last year, no, the year before, I was planning to set up a whole festival site where I was going to rent it out to people myself, to set up a site, put 56 licenses on there. Then I would hire it out to who I wanted to and kind of make extra money that way. They knocked me back on that. This was last year. So I turned to them and I said to them, look, I ain't gonna stop. I'm gonna keep putting these licenses in, and the more you knock it back, the more I'm just gonna go and do what I've got to do and come back and keep putting it back in. So they said, all right, look, just work with us. Instead of, because what I didn't realize was everything has to be accounted for. No matter whether I've got my own piece of land there or all the money in the world to set it up, I've still got to get permission from the government to do what I want to do. Because, oh man, let's have it right. When you're doing a festival, let's say 5,000 people at a minimum. Most festivals are 15, 20,000, but I'm going to use the minimum amount just to show you how the money can go on. 5,000 people inside the festival at, I don't know, a minimum of £40 each spending. You're already into like 180 racks or so, something like that, just off the door. Then you've got those people spending another 50 to 60 quid on drink. You start reaching like, you know what I mean, 350,000 for one event and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so that shows if I can do those calculations, so can the government. So what that shows me is the government's going to sit down there and look at it and say, oh, for fuck's sake, G's here again. He wants to do another one this year. Do we really let him go with this? Because the amount of money that can be generated from this thing, this guy could be a problem in the end. Mate, if I show you the background checks that these lot have been doing on me for the past 4 years, like, it's not even a joke. But I know why they're doing it now. I understand it now. Because before they let you go to do what you got to do, they've got to make sure you're not a maniac and you're not some crazy person who's going to get money and buy a shitload of whatever guns and give it to people or whatever you're going to do. You've got to be very responsible because they know you're printing money. Once you've got a festival site, you're basically printing money. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so they have to know who they're letting, technically, when it's all said and done,
into the clip,
become a multi-millionaire, because that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? Like, you want to, if you're going to do 5 festivals on the trot and have everything to yourself and your festival's a jam, you definitely got to be a multi-millionaire. So there's certain bigger people
doing the food and they're getting that.
All of that. This is what I'm trying to say. Look, I had 51st State owners inside my last festival the other day. I had City Splash owners inside there the other day. I had Garage Nation owners inside there the other day. These are all big, established festival brands. The owners of them was up in my Four Corners. So it's showing me again, they're willing to let me come through. They wouldn't be there. They're not there to be like, for my pleasure. They're there to be nosy and understand where is this good boy going with this team. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but they came, they had a look. Some of them come up to me and greeted me and said, "Well, I'm really impressed with what you've done here. Your own entity."
But it's not a small thing, cuz.
A small thing. I get it.
Seriously,
We're there where we want to be
all
right now, but everything's happening how I want it to happen, because to go into this world, you do have to pay a sort of respect to what's gone on before you, because they can shut you down easy, and I'm not stupid to the fact of that. And also, you have to pay a respect to the government, so to speak, when you're dealing with them, because you have to be open with them, because this thing does birth multi-millionaires, and you can't hide that kind of thing from these people. And the way I was moving before was more, I've got my own land, just give me a license, I'm going to do what I'm doing behind closed doors, which is why they kept saying no, because they knew, I know they knew I could do it.
You get a following.
100.
It's not just the money side of it. There's a following side of it. The amount of people that you've got interested in your thing that will listen to what you're saying and do. You know what I'm saying?
How things are funny and everything happens for a reason. Blackheath Common is where I do Four Corners now. That's what they give me going forward for years to come. That's an iconic bit of land, but it's a royal borough. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so to be on there, it's proper central to everybody. It's not a piece of land that anybody can just walk in and get. They don't give it away like that. Only Kiss FM's done it and Garage Nation, and they've done the Lewisham side. No one's actually done the Greenwich side other than me. I'm the very first person to do a festival for Greenwich.
I love the way you treated it as well. I love the way you treated it like, from beginning to end. I had to watch it. I couldn't come.
Brother, I had to sit down there because that's my baby. I had to make sure everything was right, even for the borough themselves. I just wanted them to see that I'm not just somebody that's thrown money at this and is sitting down in his ass waiting for the festival day to pop up and just popping up on the day and then disappearing. They saw me hands on with this thing. But what that's done for me now is the relationship I've got with them directly is they're willing to let me sit down there and program events for Greenwich now. What that means is, so next year I'm gonna do like a tribute act, ABBA, Queen, and them sort of things.
Lovely.
For the borough. So, do you get what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna do a next one like a family all day up for the borough.
Yeah.
Then I'll do my four corners in between those. But what that does is it builds up revenue for Greenwich themselves. But Greenwich will help me by making the people come out. So even when I do this concert, tribute concert, I'll do it, but they'll make sure their people come. And what that does for me,
coordinate everything.
You know, is them people drink prosecco all day. They'll sit in the sun and just listen to these tribute acts, and you know what I mean. It's money being generated, but it's money that they're happy to see me generate.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of realize they need to be happy with what you're doing as an entity. That's and when I say they, I'm just talking about.
I think that's a big level in business as a
definitely. Whatever I get to realize that.
Yeah,
100%.
It's a big lesson in business.
Anything you're doing, man, you can't get to certain stages in life and think you can hide from the government. You really can't. Anybody that really believes they can, you're doing dodgy stuff. That's the only way you can.
You know
you're
what?
doing legitimate stuff.
I want to ask you because you've done the four corners, yeah? But then wasn't the Ghanaian or the international thing a baby of yours as well? Or am I wrong?
Nah, you talking about when I went Kenya?
Yeah.
No, I just went there on holiday.
You didn't perform out there, do stuff out there, no?
You're talking about Gambi Fest.
Gambia,
That's Frost. That's Frost.
Oh, that's Frost, but you're still part of the team.
Yeah. But I haven't actually gone to that myself. This year, I'm going to go out there with them.
Okay. Was that his?
Been doing that for years. Him and Jason.
Okay, nice.
Jason's thing's still one of my brethren.
Okay.
But they're going, and again, that's another thing. He's gone so steady with it. Other festivals have popped up in Gambia, come and gone since he's been doing that, and he's still steady with his thing, and his thing just building nice, and that's what it is. Rome wasn't built in a day, and you can't rush greatness. You really can't. You have to take time with everything.
I'm telling you,
No, that's the truth. You
can't, bro. You can't.
I'm saying the wrong
steps by steps.
True stories. And the more patient you can be, the more you can actually see what you're creating. Some people create things and don't know how they've created it. That's the worst way to create something, because when it goes wrong, you need to know how you're doing that again.
Say that again.
Like I said, some people create things without knowing how they created it, and it is the worst thing you could do, because when it goes wrong, you do need to know how you created that and do it again. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of lucky people in business, but those lucky people recruit everybody quickly and make sure everybody else does everything for them. And then you got to consistently have money, because the second your money starts to run out, people will start looking at you and won't want to do nothing no more. If you can't do those jobs yourself,
you feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah.
I was gonna say, as a DJ, so you feel, because you're a very well-established DJ, as I've learned, do you feel like DJing is somewhat a byproduct of something else now? Because you mentioned Black Coffee. Black Coffee, obviously, he's a big DJ, but a lot of his success was through his production as well.
There you go. So, I don't believe you can become a massive DJ without producing the music you play at some point.
Say it one more time.
I don't believe you can become like a massive DJ without actually producing the music that you play at some point or other. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I think the only person I've seen become a real massive DJ from the UK, that doesn't really produce is EZ. That's the only person I've actually.
EZ?
Yeah.
Arthur Dodger produces, doesn't he?
Artful Dodger. Yeah, all of them.
Producer,
All of them
yeah,
yeah, them man have been top of the pops with their stuff.
Yeah,
All of them,
they'll produce,
all of them
yeah.
produce. So
Producers.
that is part and parcel of being a DJ. You have to be able to produce. If you can't produce, then you're going to be
I
asked
feel
a
like
question.
your route is maybe even surpassing that, no?
Yeah, because I create the space for them.
For them,
now.
so
Do you get what I'm
now
saying?
you're
Like, so that's my mindset on this is. The reality is, gee, are you going to get 100 grand now for a set? No. How will you get 100 grand? Because he's getting 100 grand right now. The only way to get 100 grand in my eyes is to create the actual space.
You pay the 100,
Like
so you must be matching. Yeah,
you
love that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Love
That makes me feel happy with going out there and DJing. So a man will ask me, gee, do a favour doing booking? I'll say, yeah, give me 3 bills, give me 4 bills. Because I'm not in it for the money of that. I'll do that. I'll do that for the love of the music.
Yeah.
But I know I'm still gonna earn that black coffee money over there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I kind of concentrate on. Cause once that's set up, that gives opportunity to 60 other DJs as well as myself.
Come on,
Do you get what I'm
come
saying?
on,
Like,
come
so.
You really are a Capricorn, ain't you?
Come on, clap the original first.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you.
People, blood.
With a lot of professions now, though, it's like what you want to do initially ends up becoming a byproduct.
No, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
even rappers or poets or whatever you might be,
Because
you have to have another avenue to.
I think everybody realizes there's always somebody else that's earning that much more off of what you are actually doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like boxers. Look at boxers right now. If you ain't Frank or you ain't my man, Eddie,
Yeah.
you ain't earning all the money.
But that's why my man done what he was doing. That's why certain people. What's the short fella?
That's why Joshua's doing what he's doing now.
Oh, what's he? Up
See
to?
what it is. Some man you can't handle the way you want to handle them. So them lot have brought their own brand into this. So Joshua still works for Eddie, but he works for himself. He's managed to take a whole big chunk of Eddie's money and keep it over here. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and you can see over the years that Joshua's been boxing, you can see he is an actual businessman before a boxer. He's very shrewd, that geezer, you know, very shrewd. He's not dumb. He'll take losses all day long if he has to. He'll take them, but he knows he's ultimately winning. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, can't blame him. The black man's been getting beat up left, right, and centre on this team for years, and them man they've been eating all the time. It's about time they just. And again, I think a big part of that comes from someone like in the States like Floyd.
That's the short fella I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. That's the short fella.
He pulled up and made them realise, oh, so you can. And that's the same thing with whatever it be. Like, you can. You just got to try and do it. And when you realise you can, make sure you do it. Don't give up from there. Don't know you can and then go and fall back and carry on doing what you were doing before you realised you can. It started now. You got to carry on, man. Don't matter how long it takes. You got to carry on till you get that.
Come on.
Like, once you
Say that again. You will carry on.
No,
Say that again.
get that precise thing.
That's
that you
what
were
it is,
searching
yeah, that's
for.
what's
Otherwise,
up.
It don't make no sense.
That's what's up.
Don't make no sense.
I want to ask you my flashcard questions, right? No, but before I ask you my flashcard question, I want to ask you anything you want to ask me.
Nah,
So we're gonna wrap up on the
you're
flashcard
good,
question.
man. I'm gonna try to do a proper podcast here. Hey, Logan, I'm gonna do a proper podcast.
Yeah. You already know. You know what time is already. You know what time is already. Cool. Let's hit these then right now. What's your favorite quote?
Treat people how you want to be treated.
What's the worst thing you've ever seen?
That's a good question, you know. I've seen a lot. Alright.
I just yeah.
I'm just trying to think when you say the worst. I think the worst thing I've ever seen. Alright, let me be real. The worst thing I've ever seen is somebody steal for somebody on their deathbed, and I know they did it. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. I've seen death, I've seen things happen, but that to me is, that's
low.
probably the worst thing I've ever seen.
What's your first heartbreak?
That's a hard question. You know, I don't want to just say something.
No, you could be anything,
Really?
you know.
You know what
it could
it
be
is?
anything. It could be like when you realise that the puppets weren't really real.
Heartbreak. I'm trying to think of what actually stopped me in my tracks. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Not just my first sadness. What's
Yeah.
actually... I think, yeah, when my baby mum had a miscarriage before my son, I think that's the first time I really realised, fuck me, like ruptured, really? Yeah, I think that's probably my first real heartbreak.
If you had one wish, what would it be and why?
These guys are good. I'm not going to say debate one and say I wish for more wishes. I would wish that everybody lived life with integrity. I would wish everybody lived life with integrity. Because that would stop a lot of fucking.
I like that. What's the best advice you've ever been given?
Just be me. Just be me just be me. Just be me and understand who I am. Yeah.
Advice to your younger self.
Start earlier. Get more serious. Be more serious from earlier. I watched for too long. I think I spent too much time actually watching things. I wasn't actually hands-on early enough. And I think if I was hands-on earlier, I think I would have been all right now, but I would have been all right from a long time ago because I was on the right path. I just didn't properly start executing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can't even add nothing to your things. I like it. You want to add, because you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be who you are right now. You know that, but
I wouldn't change nothing. You know what I mean? But
I'm not
earlier.
That human urge to add more. Come on. What's next for you?
Whatever comes. Whatever comes. There's no specifics in life, you know. Like, I could come out of here right now and anything could happen. So whatever comes.
How would you describe yourself?
I would say definitely a gentleman, 100%. Old school values, reliable. If I say I've got you, I've got you. And I would say I am a realist. And when I say that, I don't mean as in I'm the realist. I mean as in it's black or white. I don't really do the daydreaming stuff. I'm very direct when it comes to dealing with certain things, whether it has to be without a smile or with a smile. That's the best way I could put it. Yeah, whether it has to be without a smile or with a smile.
What's your earliest childhood memory?
Fucking hell.
I had someone tell me in the room, you know.
That could never be. That could never be. My earliest. I think my earliest was probably a Christmas or something like that, like a big family time. Well, I think my earliest is when I first realised what parties were family-wise. If you get what I'm saying, like so every day was normal, but then there was times when the whole family's there, and I'm wondering where's all these people come from? Loads of other kids, loads of all my cousins and everything. So I think it's probably, my grand's birthday or Christmas, because my grand's January the 2nd.
Okay, nice.
So it would have been in and around them times. That.
You January first? Were you?
I'm third. Third of January. One day after mine. Yeah.
I think mine anyway. Mine might be first because 31st. Mine's first, 31st. You know when you think your birthday's one thing. I'm Nigerian. My mum told me a story one time, and it's like it's my birthday. It's still on that day.
That's the thing. Nowadays I lose track of my age as well.
It's a lot. What's the worst thing you've ever done?
Whoa, I've done some bad things still. When I think
You can skip, you know. You don't have to answer everything. I told you at the beginning. You don't have to.
You're asking, man. Try and put something in there.
My man.
I think. One thing I'll say before I say it, there's nothing I regret in life. Everything's a lesson, in it. So I don't regret anything, but I'm not happy with certain things that I've done. That's the best way I could put it. You get me? Probably guy in jail for selling drugs. That's probably it.
Do you have a party trick?
Nah, don't do tricks. Nah, I don't actually.
What's the worst advice you've ever been given?
Oh, mate. Again, do you know what, Al? If I'm real to you, I don't think I've really been a person that really has
Takes
taken
advice.
advice. Yeah. I kind of know more time what I've been told loads of shit advice, but I've just never heard of shit advice and followed
So,
through.
yeah. No, but what's the shit thing you've been told? You've been like, fuck off.
You know, so many, man.
This
I've
guy-
heard some shit.
That's the way you do that teacher, right? That teacher who said something to you.
Alright. Not even for me. All right. I think in recent times, the worst advice that I heard was probably somebody that thought that they could do what I was doing festival-wise, told me a way that they was gonna get money to do the festival, and we worked out quickly that
It wouldn't work.
that wasn't gonna work. But what they told me to do was just wild. In fact, I'm not gonna say what. I'm not gonna say what they told me to do, but yeah, it was wild. Still, when I think about it.
What's your definition of greatness?
So many different levels of it, bro. But greatness is actually hearing from other people how well you're doing with whatever task you're on. And it can be, again, we talk about festival, but it doesn't have to even be that. This is greatness. Greatness comes from anything you spend. You woke up today and you're not actually doing nothing. You woke up today, you didn't have to come here, but you forced yourself to come and do this for whatever reasons.
Lord
You're
knows.
forcing yourself to
Lord
do
knows,
it.
Yeah.
That's greatness in itself, because you haven't wasted the short hours we have in life anyway. But look, my way of life and my thinking of life is, I 100% know, totally different from a lot of other people. You will have the same mentality, but majority of people that you talk to throughout the day, there's a lot of things you wouldn't be able to talk to them about because it just wouldn't sit right coming from you to them, and you wouldn't get the right energy back from them understanding where you're coming from. So for me now, it's very simple. We have 24 hours in the day. That's the number they've put on a day. There's no such things as days. There's no such things as hours. There's no such things as minutes. These are all things that humans have put into place to control time and whatever it be. We don't have a lot of it. I have died. I have left this earth already. I've been dead for 2 hours, and I've been revived, and I've come back, and they told me I was dead. There was no black moment. There was no pitch blackness and that I can remember. I was in a dream state the whole time. I'm very good in my dreams, where I know when somebody's dead or something's happened, and I talk in that language. So i.e., if a friend died years ago and I saw him in my dreams, I would know straight away he's not meant to be in my dream, he's dead. So I would talk to him about the living, like who's alright, who's not alright. When I supposedly died, I was with somebody, my nan, and I didn't know she'd died. And we was there for hours. We was talking. She was telling me so much things that relate into the world now and into the path that I'm actually on. This festival team, yeah, I'm smart. Yeah, I've got it in me. But they can always tell me no. This is out of my hands. This has actually been processed for me, and it's gonna happen no matter whether I like it or not. It's gonna happen as long as I'm still interested in doing it. But it's not actually me pushing this high. It's snowballing past even what I expected it to be. If I'm honest with you, I'm just Do you understand what I'm saying?
you say?
So he said I'm just a vessel, and he's absolutely correct, because I've been told exactly what's going to happen. I know the exact path. When I died, this is how real it is. There's so many things that happen in this scenario, and to even get into it now would just take fucking forever. But to associate with the festival part of when I died, my gran told me somebody was doing a fuckery around me who was involved, and she told me to go and check. When you go and check on your things, like, brother, on my strike me down if I'm chatting shit, yeah, on my mum's life, on my hospital bed, I woke up. My accountants phoned me. I got a couple of different businesses, so obviously what it was when they heard I died, it was during the pandemic. So when everything's been done by phone, so they're phoning my mum saying, oh, he's in a coma, he's this, he's that. So they was putting all my things in order. My accountant was obviously going through my businesses and making sure. And he realised one of the festivals, I had a festival called SOH. That's what I started off with before Four Corners. And he realised I'd signed SOH over to the partner who I was doing SOH with. So he's like, why did you sign away your things? Like, you've told me you want to do this all the time. So I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I was putting your things in order, and you've signed over SOH 6 months ago. Would you believe the person who I was doing that with? No one's heard this. Everyone asks me why I've not been involved with SOH, but this is the reason. The person I was doing that with actually signed the company out of my name just into their name. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, and this times I was funding it all. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's another thing where sometimes we're too trusting, and I trusted this person. No, I never would have thought this would be what they'd do, especially where I was kind of energizing what we was on. But it was what it was, and when it's all said and done, it's what started Four Corners, because I then turned around and said, you can have that. I don't want it no more. I'm not involved with it, innit? It's you, so have it. I'll just do my own thing, and that's what I did. And then starting my own thing, it's just snowballed. But back to, I didn't want to get onto to the death part, so that's a whole different podcast. But there is more to life than just life. We are a vessel, exactly what you said. This is a moment. This is your judgment, in fact. You have to do right in this world to know where you're going to be going in the next world, because there is another world. If you want to believe me or not, I can sound mad. I've got so used, this happened to me 5 years ago. I've got so used to telling people, I just want to tell people so they know. And I just don't feel like I ain't walked away from you and let you know what I actually know. If you've got any loved ones, they're there. If you've got anybody that you truly care about, you're going to see them again. You have to. It's part of your ancestral life. Once you leave this place, the place you go to has a feeling of nothing can go wrong. I don't know if you understand me when I say this. Where I was in the family house. That's how she projected it to me. I was in her old family house, but the feeling of the world that I was in, nothing could go wrong. I didn't even speak to her about my son, my mum. We were just having a laugh. She kept me very comfortable. Do you get what I mean? And the food she was cooking, I could smell, I could taste. It was so real. I want to cry even thinking about it now. It was so real, bro. And I know what it was now. I don't even think it was heaven as such. I think Big Man sent her just to keep me in the waiting part, because it wasn't my time, obviously. There's much more to do here. But she was just there to keep me calm in the time that they was doing whatever they were doing to bring me back. But in coming back, mate, my gran's never appeared to my mum. My mum's the only girl of 6 kids. So she's the only girl of 5 brothers. So her and my nan was close, you know them one day. Never appeared to my mum since my gran died. My gran died 16 years ago. Never seen my gran in a dream or anything. When I got released from hospital, because I was in hospital for like about a month and a half, and then when they released me, I couldn't walk or anything. I was fucked. I was vulnerable, proper. So I didn't want to come back to London and be in mum's house, because everyone's going to want to come and knock the door, see her. So I just said to my mum, you and dad just come up to mine and just take a week on week each and look after me, basically, and just chill at mine, because mine's a much more quiet and calm, you know what I mean? Again, on my son's life, on my mum's life, strike me down if I'm chatting crap. The first night of my mum coming to my house, I got a big, long L-shaped settee in my room, sort of jamming, watching TV. So my mum's like, what do you want to do? You going to go to bed? So I was like, I'm so comfortable now, I'm just going to jam here, mum. So she was like, I'm gonna jam here then. So we was just both fell asleep top to toe. I woke up and I could hear my mum sniffling. So I looked, she was crying. And my mum is one of these old school women that don't let out emotions like that. Like, I don't see my mum cry ever, you know what I'm wondering. But she was crying. I said, you all right, mum? She just looked at me and she said, son, a woman just came to me. My gran went to my mum on the first night and told my mum hella stuff that she wanted to know. Now my mum's a realist. My mum and my dad are real people. I can't sit here as an adult that I am and make up some foolishness. You get me? It got me when my mum said she came to me just now. It was wild, bro. It was because you know what it was. I didn't think so quickly anybody would actually get the feeling that I just had here, blood. But the woman came to my mum. So this life is very, 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 very techie, man. What people seem to think is, oh, you're going to judgment. Like, this is judgment. This is free will, you know? Free will. I can walk out there right now and kill somebody out there right now. If I'm a madman and I want to do it, don't mean I'm going anywhere good after I do that. But I've got the choice to do it if I want to. This is your judgment world. People need to realize what you do in this world does play a big part in where you're about to reside when time comes to reside. So just try your hardest in this world to do what's right with your conscience. That's why I went to, when you asked me that question, I said to you, everybody needs to have integrity. Once everybody's got integrity, you won't want to do wrong to anybody else. That's where it starts, integrity. A lot of people's integrity is gone. So they don't have that moral standing where they don't realize what doing wrong to somebody else can do to that somebody else and that somebody else's people and that somebody else's people. It's a chain effect. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so the second we can all have an integrity about ourselves, we'll judge ourselves quickly before we do crazy moves out there. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's where it's got to start with. It's got to start within yourself. I've got integrity. You've got integrity. You've got integrity. Why hasn't everybody actually got integrity? If we all did, it'd be a different world.
Great.
One day I'm gonna come and sit with you lot though and talk to you about this experience because it's not even one to even go. It's very wild. Like, you get? I'll come and talk to you about it.
We're gonna sit and talk. We're sit on camera. Talking.
On camera, man. Yeah. Do it. You know what? That's my testimony. Real talk. I'm not a religious man. I don't go church and all these things every day. My church is here and here. You understand what I'm saying? I just know. I know who I'm talking to when I talk from here, and I know where it's going. You understand what I'm saying? But it's a real thing, word. No joke. Real thing.
Your pet hate?
Liars. Can't stand liars. In fact, I shouldn't say liars. I can't stand liars that just lie for for the sake of it. Some people lie because they have to lie, but there's some people that just everything that comes out your mouth is just some lie. Like, you get me? Yo, I'm drinking orange juice right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, anything that comes out your mouth is just mad.
If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why?
Definitely a lion. Definitely a lion. Because I think they do exhibit what the male is supposed to be like. If you get what I'm saying. Like, with a lion, they know when to fall back. They do let women do what they need to do. But when it's all said and done, he needs to come and regulate whatever's going wrong in the pride. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they do what they're doing, everything. Yeah. But when it's all said and done, the lion has to come and regulate anything that's going wrong in the pride. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I definitely relate to them.
The energy, man. Hey, what's your first love?
My son.
If you died now, would you be content?
Good question again. You got some good questions. Because of what I know, yeah, I'm not scared to die at all. I'm scared to die and not leave a legacy in some form of way. So yeah, in a nutshell, I don't think I would be content with what's going on yet. Need a few more years.
We've got 4 left, and I've got one. We've got 4 left, and I've got one. I want to add. One that comes out is added. It's about death as well, but it's just been put in here as well. Just it's been an interesting interview, my man.
It always was gonna be, cuz. What else was it gonna be, man? This is the most relaxing interview I've had. Like, I just knew even when I was coming here, I said to you outside, there's certain things I would say that I wouldn't even say anywhere else, bro, because it goes back to what I just said again. There's certain people that you got to be careful what you say sometimes, because you are what you say sometimes, you get me? And people will sit there and but they'll go out there and be like, yo, my man's moving mad. You know what I'm saying?
I've had that,
There you go.
I've had that. Oh, man. What's the best thing you've ever done?
Like my child again, my son.
Oh.
Definitely.
If you're a colour, what colour would you be and why?
Black. Black is beautiful, isn't it?
What's your biggest inspiration?
Might sound cliche again, but my son.
Say what?
My son.
Your son. Okay.
Everything.
Momo was telling me about seeing him raving at the Four Corners.
Yeah. Listen, my son is everything I wasn't growing up at his age. No anxiety, if he has got anxiety, he hides it well. He's total opposite to me, where he'll come in and say, yeah, that later. And he'll be running around the dance, have all women around him or whatever. It's weird. He's a total opposite in that way, but total opposite even in the street way. I've never been called by police, qualified plumber, done that from school, buy his own car. He's proper grown up. Do you get what I mean? So I've never had one day of worrying about him. And that's the truth. I've never had one day of worrying about it.
That's good. All right, I'm going to leave this question to last. I like this question. It's like a nice point question. I was going to ask you, you said you're not scared of death, but would you want to go, and how would you want to go if you had the choice?
Always in my sleep. Love to go in my sleep. I think, especially what I know now, that's the best way to transition, I would say, from what I know. Definitely in my sleep. Wouldn't want to drown. That's my pet hate. Like, anything that's...
You know what?
We don't want to drown. I want to be in a smoky room and burn. None of that.
When I thought about this question, because I'm like, heights. I thought about falling from a great height into water. That's the worst for me. That would be the worst. Falling from a great height and then hitting water and then drowning. That's the worst. What's the most important lesson you've learned in your journey so far? It's a final question for you.
Most important I've learned in my journey so far is trust my instincts, definitely, and don't trust people's words till you can put yourself in problems over them. And what that means is take everything with a pinch of salt sometimes. Sometimes people say what they feel like you want to hear, but they're not actually capable of doing what it is you want to hear, because they're not actually you, if that makes any sense.
Wait, no, you have to make more sense for me.
Put it like this. Sometimes you meet people in life and they're not the same person as you, but they're able to mirror you because they're just around you. So sometimes it's easy to think somebody's on the same level as you when you're somebody that thinks on that sort of way. Reason being, I could meet somebody and they're walking here right now, and the way he acts inside here will only be off of how he gets my energy. So he's gonna do everything to say everything that sounds right to me. By the end of the day, I might turn around and say, yeah, you're blessed, man. Yeah, stay in touch, give me your number. You end up giving that person your number, and you might have talkings and dinners with this person, but this person might be an expert at reading who they're dealing with and just being the person that person wants them to be. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's what you got to be careful of, because those are the people that can lead strong-headed, strong-minded people astray. Reason being, you start thinking that person's exactly like me. I believe I'm a very strong-minded person. So you start believing they're going to do things exactly how you would do. But really, they're just mirroring you and trying to wait to see how you're going to deal with certain situations. That's why a lot of the time in relationships even, it's always great at the beginning. It's always the best It's always proper things. But that's because if you're the leader, the other person is giving you a chance to lead and see how you're leading. Then, if you're leading in the correct way, it's easy to just let you keep leading and go along with what you're doing. You'll start believing you think just like me. They don't really think like you. They're just letting you do what you're doing because, yeah, technically, your way of thinking is correct. They would never have thought of that. But you're sitting there thinking, this person's creating the same energy here as I am, when really it's always you been creating it. When you leave them to their own devices one day, you will see something that will turn your head and you think, hold on, I wouldn't have done that. Who's this person all of a sudden? What made you do that? Then they'll start unveiling themselves even more and you start to realize, fucking hell, all this time you've just been sitting down there just on my wave. And I've been thinking to myself, you're the same as me, but you're just on my wave. That's all it is, really. You're not actually the same person as me. I'm just wishing for you to be the same as me. Goes wrong sometimes, I know.
Come on.
Goes wrong.
Come on, no, come on, it does. Listen,
man, it goes
that
wrong.
no, it's been an emotional, intellectual, educational, very heartwarming, thought-provoking, yeah, tear-jerking
I enjoyed
episode.
it.
Listen,
Enjoyed it.
GTV.
Bless you, cuz, man.
Every time. Are you ready? Come
Yes,
on,
baby,
come
man.
on, come on.
You know, man.
Are you wizard? Wizard. Come on, you don't know. Live talk.
Bless, cuz.
Come on, I love that, man.